The quiet town that slept under the stars. A long-form historical sleep story about Flagstaff, Arizona, and the extraordinary journey of the sky, science, people, and peace. Hook. There is a small town in America, a place where people didn't just live under the sky. They protected it. They defended darkness, so the universe could remain visible. Tonight, as your eyes grow heavier and your breath becomes slower, let me take you back to a quiet American town where history whispered softly, where time slowed down, and where the stars were never lost. This is the story of Flagstaff, Arizona, the quiet town that slept under the stars. Part 1. Before there were buildings, there was sky. Before roads, before trains, before electricity, before cameras pointed toward the sky, there was only silence. The land around future Flagstaff was home to ancient Native American tribes, Hopi, Navajo, Apache, and others. For them, the night sky was not decoration, it was language, it was direction, it was wisdom. They told stories about constellations. Children grew up learning to read the sky the way we read books today. They believed the stars carried memory. They believed ancestors watched from above. And at night, lying under that vast blanket of silver, they listened. No traffic, no billboards, no electricity. Only the wind, the earth, and the universe itself. Thousands of years passed that way, quiet, endless, beautiful. And that sky remained untouched, waiting for its future guardians. Part 2. The train arrives, and destiny with it. The year was the late 1800s. America was changing. Railroads stretched across deserts and mountains, stitching the nation together. The West, once wild and unknown, slowly filled with travelers carrying dreams, fears, and hope. A train whistle echoed across the cold Arizona night. Steam, metal, fire cutting through darkness. And near a forest of tall ponderosa pines, a small settlement began to lead life. Wooden houses appeared, shops opened, families arrived. They named it Flagstaff. At night, when workers finished long days of building tracks, they would sit by fires, look up, and fall silent. They had never seen a sky like this. The Milky Way stretched like a glowing cosmic river. Shooting stars brushed across black velvet. Every star felt close enough to touch. Word spread quietly among travelers. There is a town in Arizona where the sky is clearer than anywhere else. That sentence changed the future of the town forever. Part 3. The man who followed the stars. Far away in Boston lived a wealthy, curious, brilliantly stubborn astronomer named Percival Lowell. He dreamed bigger than most people. While others were talking about businesses, he was talking about the universe. He heard the whispers. There is a place in Arizona with a sky like no other. That was enough. In 1894, he arrived. Cold air, high elevation, a horizon that felt endless. He stood on that hill, closed his eyes, breathed in the desert wind, and he knew, this is the place. Here, he built something that would change scientific history. Lowell Observatory, not a loud place, not a crowded place, but a quiet sanctuary of thought. A place where people studied not noise, but light from millions of miles away. Astronomers moved to the town. They lived calmly, peacefully, respectfully. They didn't just watch the universe, they listened to it. Part 4. a town that protected darkness. Years passed. America grew brighter. Cities glowed through the night. Neon signs exploded. Streetlights flooded neighborhoods. Most towns tried to erase darkness. Flagstaff did the opposite. They protected it. Shops agreed to dim bright lights. Homes used downward-facing lamps. Businesses avoided harsh glare. Why? Because they understood something that many cities forgot. Every artificial light we create destroys a natural light in the sky. They weren't just saving stars. They were saving wonder. They were saving imagination. They were saving peace. This wasn't forced. It was chosen. And that choice would soon lead to one of the greatest scientific discoveries in history. Part 5. The Night That the Universe Grew Bigger. The year was 1930. Snow rested silently on rooftops. Wind whispered through pine trees. The observatory dome turned slowly under the stars. Inside was a quiet, dedicated young astronomer, Clyde Tombaugh. Night after night, he compared telescope photographs. Every dot mattered. Every movement could mean history. Long nights, tired eyes, absolute patience. Outside, the town slept peacefully. Inside, the universe waited. Then, he saw it. A tiny moving speck of light, small, almost invisible. Not a star, not a comet, a planet. In that silent Arizona winter, Pluto was discovered. News spread across the world. Scientists celebrated. Children stared at star maps with excitement. And behind it all was a quiet little town that chose silence so the universe could speak. Part 6. A town that became a guardian. Flagstaff didn't become famous for amusement parks, or skyscrapers, or massive crowds. It became famous for something far more rare: humility, respect, stillness, guardianship. Decades later, when light pollution swallowed most skies across Earth, Flagstaff remained different. Organizations came, they measured, they studied, and they found something extraordinary: a modern American city with an ancient sky. In 2001, Flagstaff became the first international dark sky city in the world. Not Europe, not Asia, not another state. Here, in a small American town that refused to let stars disappear. Part 7. People Who Live with the Stars. But this is not just a story about science. It is a story about people. A little boy wraps a blanket around his shoulders. His father whispers, "Look, that bright one? That's Jupiter." A teenage girl sits on a car hood with friends, laughing softly, pointing upward, realizing how small worries suddenly feel. An elderly couple sits hand in hand on a porch, saying nothing, just breathing, just watching, remembering when they first watched this same sky together. Travelers arrive and cry quietly because they forgot the sky could look like this. Somewhere tonight, a child in Flagstaff will look up and decide, "I want to be an astronomer." That child might discover something one day, a comet, a planet, a galaxy, and it will begin right there, under this sky. Part 8. The Sky Teaches Us. Flagstaff teaches something powerful. You do not always need more to become something great. Sometimes greatness is choosing less light, less noise, less hurry, more silence, more wonder, more connection. The sky reminds us we are small, but we are part of something infinite. When you lie under that sky, stress softens, worries shrink, the world feels slower, life feels calmer, and suddenly, peace feels possible. Part 9. The Legacy Continues. Today, astronauts train in Arizona. NASA studies planets from data collected here. The New Horizons spacecraft that flew past Pluto, its journey is forever tied to the town that discovered the planet first. School children visit observatories. Volunteers teach about stars. Scientists continue to listen to the universe. And every night, Flagstaff keeps its promise. Lights stay low, hearts stay humble, the sky remains free. Final restful closing. So tonight, as you listen, as your breathing slows, as your body sinks into rest, imagine you are there, standing on that cool Arizona mountain, wind brushing your face, silence surrounding you, millions of stars above. You look up and realize you are not alone. You are part of something endless, something beautiful, something ancient. And somewhere in a quiet American town, the night is still allowed to be night. The stars are still allowed to shine, and the universe still watches gently over the quiet town that slept under the stars. Sleep peacefully. The universe is still shining. Part 10. Tomorrow's Sky. Morning always comes quietly in Flagstaff. Not with chaos, not with overwhelming noise, but with light, slowly unfolding across the mountains. The stars fade gently. The sky softens from black to deep blue. Snow glimmers with the first touch of dawn. And the town wakes kindly. Coffee shops open, teachers greet sleepy students. Scientists at the observatory prepare for another night ahead, already thinking about what the universe will share next. Because here, time has a rhythm. Day for people, night for the stars, and both are respected. Children walk to school under tall pine trees. They learn history, math, language, but they also learn something else. They learn that the night sky is not guaranteed. It must be protected. It must be cared for. They grow up knowing light is powerful, but so is darkness. Not frightening darkness, not lonely darkness, but natural darkness, peaceful darkness, healing darkness. The kind that lets the Milky Way breathe across the sky, the kind that lets planets whisper their quiet glow, the kind that reminds humans to slow down and listen. And one day, those children will become leaders, parents, scientists, dreamers, and they will remember what they learned here. That every choice, every streetlight, every policy, every decision can either erase the universe from view or protect it. Part 11. The world begins to notice. Slowly, beautifully, Flagstaff's example traveled beyond Arizona. Other cities looked up at their faded skies and felt something missing. They remembered childhood nights when stars were bright. They remembered sleeping under constellations. They remembered wonder. People asked, "Why can't we see the stars anymore?" And Flagstaff answered, "You can, if you choose to." Town after town, country after country, began dimming their lights. Not all at once, not perfectly, but with hope. Laws were written, lights were redesigned. Communities gathered to talk, not about more brightness, but about better darkness. People realized something profound. Protecting the sky isn't just about science, it's about mental peace. It's about human connection. It's about knowing we are still part of the universe. Because when the stars return to the sky, something returns to the human heart as well. Part 12. Under the Same Stars. Tonight, someone will stand in Flagstaff and look up. Someone will stand in another country and do the same. Different languages, different cultures, different lives, but the same sky. The same constellations navigators followed for centuries. The same light ancestors prayed under. The same galaxies quietly turning, endlessly patient. Stars remind us we are separated by distance, but connected by the same universe. No matter who you are, no matter where you live, when you look at the night sky, you share a moment with everyone who has ever lived and everyone who will live after. And that is powerful. Part 13. The sky is still waiting. And so the town continues. Nights fall softly, observatories rotate slowly, scientists whisper, families breathe, children dream. Flagstaff doesn't rush, Flagstaff doesn't shout, Flagstaff simply keeps its promise. To protect wonder, to protect silence, to protect stars. Because somewhere, someday, a child will look up and everything will change. They will discover something new. They will write new history. They will expand the universe in our minds, just like Clyde Tombaugh did, just like Percival Lowell did, just like ancient tribes did when they first told stories of the sky. And that future discovery may begin with one quiet night, one peaceful breath, one small town still sleeping safely under the stars. Gentle resting close. So tonight, as you rest, as your breath becomes slow and calm, remember Flagstaff. Remember the quiet. Remember the sky that still shines. Let peace cover you like starlight. Let worries drift away like clouds. Let your mind float gently into rest. Because somewhere out there, galaxies are spinning softly. Planets are moving silently. Stars are burning patiently. Without hurry, without fear. Just existing. Just like you. Safe, held, and watched over by the quiet town that slept under the stars. Sleep peacefully. The universe is still shining, and it's waiting for you again tomorrow night.